Have you ever gone out the emergency exit of a bus? Most Shawnee Mission students have. Up next, find out how this important practice is keeping them prepared. Military veterans share their thoughts on serving and sacrifice with middle school students. A group of 6th graders get the chance to give a brand new snowplow an extreme makeover. And a Shawnee Mission family puts its exit drill to the test to help everyone learn more about fire safety. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Driving with kids in the car can get pretty crazy at times. Now imagine driving with 40 or 50 of them in the back. Bus drivers face this every day. That's why first student drivers place a priority on getting out to the schools to talk with students about their rules of the road.
Hello students, good morning. I am a driver for First Student. Today we're going to be talking about bus safety.
First student driver Jerry Meinert starts off this safety lesson at Park-Carpenter Elementary by reminding students to keep a safe distance from the bus unless loading or unloading, and that includes reaching under the bus.
If you drop something and it goes near the edge of this bus, never ever go after it, okay? But you know what you do? This is pretty simple. You ask your bus driver. Your bus driver will retrieve it for you. Welcome to my bus.
Next, it's time to safely load the bus, using the handrail, of course.
Thank you very much. I'm going to clap for you for loading so quickly and orderly, and most importantly, practicing the first rule of safety on the bus. That's sitting down with your seats to the bottom of the seats and your backs to the backs facing forward.
Meinert stressed how important it is for students to remain seated when the bus is moving, and talked about how quiet voices help the driver focus on driving.
We are concentrating on so many things. Your behavior helps us concentrate and keep you safe, your neighbor and friend safe, and me safe.
Other safety tips that stuck with this 2nd grader.
Don't eating food on the bus because you could choke. On railroad crossing, you'd be really silent.
There you go, great. Sit all the way down, give me your hands, slide off.
Students even had the opportunity to test out the bus's emergency exit at the back. The location of the emergency exits made an impression on Hadley.
We have 8 emergency exits. We have that one, we have one in the back, and we have 2 at the top, and there's 2 windows, and there's like 2 more windows in there that are emergency exit.
We learned how to get out, and you sit on your bottom flat and you slide out the back.
And as Sam learned, this is a time when proper technique matters.
Because you might fall down and like break your face or break a leg or something.
Students say getting these bus safety reminders are helpful.
Well, so that you can know what to do when the bus stops and you're not just like panicking.
It's good to practice so then you're really ready to do a real thing if it really happens.
First Student began partnering with the Shawnee Mission School District in 2009. Buses in Shawnee Mission transport about 9,000 students twice each day. First Student Shawnee Mission has received several honors for safety, including the Presidential Award of Excellence, which was given to only 9 of First Student's 650 locations in North America. And Shawnee Mission's Maintenance Department was one of only 3 honored with the Silver Wrench Award for excellence in safety, cleanliness, organization, cost-effectiveness, and preventative maintenance compliance. Up next, Shawnee Mission volunteers help feed those in need in our district and community. And middle school students learn what it means to be a hero.
And my name is Gretchen. I reread the book Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper.
I'm surrounded by words. Words swirl around me like snowflakes.
But I thought Melody couldn't talk. That is part of the mystery. Even though she couldn't talk, she got the message through.
We are way ahead of ourselves. Melody has cerebral palsy, and the story describes many of her struggles.
Like she can't even hold a glass or walk across the room. Imagine wanting to talk with friends or run and jump in PE. I loved how she solved her problem.
I was cheering for her when she got her pink electric wheelchair and her Medi-Talker. She even named it Elvira after her favorite song.
Can you imagine a teacher telling her that the questions were too easy if Melody could pass them? We rate this book 5 stars. The author had such descriptive details with the joy of Melody's accomplishments.
Welcome back. 7th and 8th graders at Indian Woods have a better understanding of the sacrifices of American military heroes thanks to a special school assembly.
For the land of the free and the home of
Music teacher John Duncan started things off with the national anthem. After that, everyone took time to acknowledge Indian Woods staff and spouses of staff who are veterans. Then students heard from Chris Hahn, who served in the Marine Corps and was injured in the line of duty while in Iraq.
When they asked me to do this, I was excited to come share with you about what it means to be a veteran, about what it means to serve something greater than yourself.
The retired Marine talked to students about his poetry and shared his thoughts on what it means to be a hero.
A hero is somebody who gives themselves to a cause, somebody who is willing to lay away their selfishness to serve a higher purpose. And that's not just with veterans, that's in everyday life. Anybody can be a hero. Anytime that you help somebody else out, anytime that you serve somebody else or another cause and forget about yourself and serve them, that's what makes a hero.
To bring his message home, Hahn shared with the students what had happened to him while he was serving in Iraq.
I ended up being involved in an accident which caused me to lose my leg below the knee. If I could go back, I wouldn't do anything differently, because in the face of that, I was with my buddies. I was with my brothers, and that is why I did what I did.
He shared that small acts of kindness, including writing letters and saying thank you, are ways students can help those who have served. Including writing letters and saying thank you, are ways students can help those who have served.
So the next time you see a veteran, walk up to them, say hi, shake their hand. Because often it's the smallest gestures of gratitude that mean the most and will stay in their memories forever, like mine.
Indian Woods students seem to take these veterans' words to heart.
I think it's really important because they're out there risking their lives to save us and keep us free.
It's a sacrifice, a big sacrifice that, you know, like you have to be more than yourself, and that really motivates me.
Veteran Ted Fritz's wife teaches at Indian Woods, and she convinced him to come to the ceremony to be honored.
I'm proud of having done my service, and I don't mind being here. I hope somebody can get something out of it. I will.
After the assembly, students headed outside for the chance to explore a couple of military vehicles from the Kansas National Guard's 778th Transportation Company. The veterans hope the day's events help these middle school students see the big picture.
I think for them, it's just, to make them realize that, veterans live all among us. A lot of them you wouldn't even know unless they told you. So I think it's, it's important for them to see people around the school that are veterans and to know that they're not any different than anyone else.
The next generations need to know the reason that we have the freedoms that we do in this country, and that there are freedoms, but they come with a price.
Whole Foods Market and generous community members made the holiday season brighter for Shawnee Mission families in need through Grab and Give. And as you're about to see, this food program was powered by some special Shawnee Mission volunteers.
students are working at Indian Creek Tech Center on a project that's called Whole Foods Grab and Give. The Whole Foods grocery store is having their customers donate money or food items to the Shawnee Mission School District's families that are in need of food this time of year. They bring over pallets of food, and then the food is put out on the tables here, and my students are sacking the products into sacks, and then those sacks will be distributed to these families. The thing I like about this project is that it is a great work opportunity for young adults in the transition program. These are young adults 18 to 21 who, because of their special needs, get to continue to receive services from the Shawnee Mission School District. So one of the areas that we work on in transition is vocational skills. The students also like it. Every one of my students, I have 10 young adults out here today, and every one of them has said they like this kind of work. They like to be helpful. They like to be busy, and so it's been good for them. It's a win-win situation. We did talk about how important volunteer work is, and not only is it looks good on a resume for future employment they may seek, but it also makes them feel good.
Whole Foods provided a monetary donation to the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation for the difference between the money donated and the actual cost of the food items given out. Even though it happened 150 years ago, find out how the Civil War is being brought to life today for middle school students. Plus, adding a little levity to a snowy day. Find out how Shawnee Mission artists are playing a role when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. Welcome back. When people are out driving in the winter, most don't give any thought to a snowplow passing by. But now some may want to take a closer look after 6th grade students at McAuliffe Elementary got their hands on a brand new one.
So you're going to paint right on top of it, wherever it goes, not here, but wherever the outline is. Now it's hard because it's little tiny areas.
On the day we visited, the students were grabbing a brush and glove and heading out in groups to continue with their very special painting project.
Our principal, Michael Orr, came to me and said that people from the Lenexa Roads and Transportation had a brilliant idea. They have these brand new snowplows, which were pretty generic and boring to look at, and they wanted to have elementary schools in the district submit ideas and to paint designs on the front. So they came and delivered a huge brand new orange snowplow and buckets of enamel paint and said, go for it. Each class of 6th grades came up with preliminary sketches, and everybody submitted ideas, and we decided we wanted to be a little bit different than typical winter scenes and things like that. We wanted to do something a little bit out of the ordinary with a sense of humor so that when people saw it driving down the street that they would remember it.
So what did they come up with?
It's like some snowmen that they're gonna get hit by the plow. And it's kind of just like a humorous type of snowman, like very animated. And like one's saying run, and then they're like getting hit, and I find it kind of funny.
Today's work, painting the branch arms, carrot noses, and some snowflakes.
I would do a little circle like this, okay? you could probably get about 3 good drops out of it. Dip it again, wipe it on the inside of that lid, all right? And I want you to, again, space them out. Don't group them close together.
Among the lessons the students have learned, sometimes art requires a bit of sacrifice.
It's a little bit difficult because you don't want it to drip down it, and you kind of have to, and it kind of hurts your knees when you bend down on the ground to get under the curve.
But everyone seems to be enjoying this opportunity to create a piece of public art.
I like it. It's different from just painting on paper. It's way more fun because it's something that you'll probably only get to do once.
And the project may even be reaping some unintended benefits.
I'm learning that I'm slow and not speeding up and rushing through it.
Come winter, these student artists say they'll definitely be keeping a closer eye on the plows passing by.
You just recognize it, but you normally don't ever look at the plow, but now you will because it has a design on it.
Civil War history recently came to life for some students at Trailridge Middle School.
Our whole idea is to try to make sure that we don't forget. 150 years, it sounds like a long time, but it's really not a long time. So we're trying to make sure everybody remembers, because the Civil War made the U.S. what it is today.
Members of Living History, a group that participates in Civil War battle reenactments, talked about the war between the states with 8th graders.
We dress up, we live all the original stuff. We live in tents, we sleep on the ground, we have no modern phones or anything during our reenactment weekend.
They talked about the experience of soldiers and brought replicas and artifacts that help students understand the uniformed soldiers wore and the supplies needed to get troops through battle.
You might have 50,000 men in an area. What's Dennis doing? Is he an infantry guy? You don't know. You see red from a distance, you know that's artillery. If you saw blue or white, it was infantry. You saw yellow, was typically cavalry guys. Of course, they had horses, but a lot of cavalry guys fought without horses. So the color was for a reason.
The Civil War is part of 8th grade curriculum, but teaching it this way gives students something more.
We're trying to get across just recognition that something horrible happened in this country. Brother against brother, father against son, just like they say on all the TV shows. What we try and do is let kids know what happened on a more individual basis instead of just knowing battles and all those things.
It's really firsthand, and a movie is kind of it's seeing them doing it, but coming from them, they really know what they're talking about. So, and the movies are just kind of made up, it's not all really true.
This is a really fun thing to do, and the kids are generally pretty amazed because they never get to see this stuff up close and personal.
Up next, students get a life-saving lesson by practicing their fire exit plan.
Hi, I'm Emmy. And I'm Olivia. We read the book, Ghost Dog Secrets by Peg Gerhardt. Rusty's mom was driving him to school one day when he saw a German Shepherd chained to a fence with no food, water, or shelter in ice-cold rain. Rusty wants to keep the dog, and so does his friend Andrew. One night, when Rusty is in bed, a ghost dog startles him. Is the ghost dog trying to lead them into danger, or is she trying to help them save the German Shepherd? Will Rusty keep the dog? Only we know what happens. We rate this book 4 out of 5 stars for its amazing, suspenseful, exciting, action-packed story. Check it out.
Welcome back. When there's a fire in your home, seconds matter, and making sure that everyone in your family knows exactly what to do to get out can save lives. That was the message to students on a special Fire Safety Day at Merriam Park Elementary.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I'm Bob Pape. I'm the fire chief in Merriam. And what is this? Okay, what is it? It's a fire alarm, okay, a smoke alarm. We call it smoke. It detects anytime there's a fire, there's smoke, and this picks up the smoke, and it goes off. And when it goes off, it alerts us to get out.
The fire chief shared with students the importance of having working smoke alarms with good batteries that are tested monthly.
Now, there's another thing that we're also teaching this year. Very few people, and you guys are going to be one of the first to hear this message, so you're probably, your parents don't even know this, is that smoke alarms, even though I pushed the button and it worked, it may not be good. And you know why it may not be good? Because it's too old. If your smoke alarm is over 10 years old, you need to replace it.
He also stressed the need to have 2 exits from every room as part of any home evacuation plan. Next, the students had a chance to practice putting an exit plan into action.
Get down and crawl. Make sure you crawl. That way you're out of all the nasty smoke. Crawl outside.
Well, what we found out is that there's actually only approximately 1/4 of the population has actually practiced a home fire drill, where they've actually developed an escape plan and have 2 ways out of every room. 3/4 of the population has never done it. Then obviously when an emergency occurs, their chances of survival are greatly decreased.
Each grade was able to watch how the drill changed if the door felt hot instead of cool.
So now what are we going to do? Crawl over to the window. Very good.
Show your mom and dad what you learned at school today. It's important, and your brothers and your sisters. Can everybody promise to go home and do that for me? Practice what we did here? All right, okay, good.
I don't think you can review enough. Most of us never have to respond to a fire in our home, but I want them to remember that. You know, safety never sleeps, and I want them to remember what to do, how to respond if they do have a fire in their home.
All right, anybody seen a fire before or been up this close to one? Very good.
I think it's important that the parents sit down with the kids, especially at an early age, and go through these escape plans when it's not threatening, where there's no pressure on them to perform. They can make mistakes, nobody cares, you know, until they can practice though over and over again until they become familiar with it, and they can actually make a game out of it. And I think that helps to take away some of the scariness if it just becomes a normal routine thing. And we recommend you practice that escape plan at least twice a year.
Merriam Park's Romery family routinely practices a fire safety drill.
It's really important for families to practice fire safety. It's something that we've done as a family really since the girls started school, and that's why we actually started, because every year they would hear about it at school and come home and ask to practice.
But this time, practice was different, with actual firefighters on hand to help.
They already had a plan. I think we had an opportunity to practice their plan and maybe perfect on it a little bit. It was the first time they'd actually operated their escape ladders. So having a ladder, as a lot of people do, they'll buy one knowing that they need one for that secondary escape, but they don't actually take it out of the package and actually put it out and try going down it. And until you do that, you're not sure if it's really going to work or not.
I was scared at first, but because I'm scared of height, and when I looked down, it was really scary. But then my sister and him went down it before me, and after they did, I felt confident.
I practiced climbing down the ladder, feeling the wall, getting out of my room, the smoke alarm, getting to the mailbox.
Well, watching them come down the fire safety ladder was terrifying, but I'm really glad that they had the chance to practice it. And I think that if you do it just as part of your family's routine, it becomes not so scary, and they become much more comfortable talking about it. Nobody wants to think about possibly having a house fire, but I feel so much better as a mom knowing that if we ever do have one, they know what to do.
Well done, Alyssa and Madeline. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.